Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Commodity Futures Report for Monday, October 24, starting with the government yields here. So we're looking at 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, and we're going up for the fifth wave of the third here, and then we'll come back for the fourth, and then we'll go up for the fifth. This wave 1 can also be wave A at that point, and I should really have it as wave A. It's not too scare folks too much about things, but this move coming up through here from this I'm just calling this wave 4 low here. We've got 1 and 2 and 3 here, probably not finished yet, probably a little third of a third, fourth and fifth, so we'll still be up around the 450 mark for that as well, so that's still got higher to go. So the flip side of that, we've got the 20-year bonds here, so just the TLTs here. So this is all the data I have on this, unfortunately, but it does bring us back, just sneaks us into 208 here. So just sort of, I mean, I just need to find some more data on that, but I can see from this here that I could look at this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave finishing here. There's going to be this little move here. I can see that there's going to be a bounce off 90. So there'll be a bounce off 90, and then there'll be a move down into 80. And then if I include this here as the next move, then that will give us another rally, and then another move down to that point. So I'll have to pull that apart and have a look at it. I'll do all that. But, you know, this is becoming, we'll see this down at 70 down here, and probably, you know, coming this far down, it will, you know, touch the 2008 low. So, you know, what does that mean at that point, you know, for the bonds, you know? Well, it puts them in a pretty precarious situation, doesn't it? You know, they won't be very attractive at that point. Well, their interest will be, but you know, the bond markets are just, you know, some of the spreads that we're looking at in the Italian market are, you know, are getting sort of quite wide, and we can see that the yen is getting smashed, and, you know, there's some cracks in the pavement occurring, and this is also really moving in line with the stock market as well, especially from around this point here and this trend here. So yeah, if this is the case, then it doesn't really make the dollar look that good, and this is what I was trying to sort of figure out a little bit. This is a daily chart for the DXY. So I just spent a bit of time, you know, because I was looking down here and I thought, well, we'll call a low in here and we'll count this up as a bullish pattern. And today I thought, well, let's just look at it as a corrective pattern, because, you know, I mean, the amount of money that they've printed, and they've still got to print more money to save their asses again along the way. You know, they can't get out of this. It's just kicking the can down the road. So, you know, it's going to put the dollar in a pretty weak situation, you know. I mean, obviously the other ones are not much better either. But at what point do the dominoes sort of start knocking each other? I have no idea. But I just thought, well, I'll look at this in a more of a bearish situation. So looking at this as wave 3 here with an A wave, an ABC for the B wave, and then 5 waves up here to make a wave 4, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to come down here. But we could look at this as another large wave 3 here, and then an A and a B and a C wave for the A wave here, because we've got overlapping wave structures across the top here when we had this counted up as wave 1 here and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here. That's okay, we can do that, and that would be fine. We've got that on another count, but I just thought I'd have a look at this as a bearish count. So an A wave, a B wave and a C wave as another wave 4 coming up to the previous wave 4 here. And you know, this is kind of what I normally expect to happen at a top, at a level. So you get whatever price point that you're working with, you come up and it gets, you know, smashed from the big number or whatever, and then goes up again on lower volume and then makes it sort of way over. So I think that we're just in this, you know, this wave. I think we've still got another leg to the upside here, because the other way I was sort of thinking about it is that well, first of all, I can count from this low here, I can count 5 waves to this top here. But if that was the top, for example, if that was the top, then on the S&P 500, this daily chart here, this A wave, B wave over here, and C wave here, then that would have to be the low in the market at that point. Is that doable? Can we have a low in there? Some stocks look like we can, but then there's others like Amazon and Goldman's and that haven't taken out this low. They're still sitting, you know, above these lows here. So I do think that we still need to come down here further, and that's why I think that this is just, you know, as we're having this wave 2 rally in here, or even wave C coming a bit higher here for the S&P and all the indices and the other currencies, that we're having, you know, this wave, some sort of wave 4 in here, and as we get this wave 5 coming up here of wave C that we've got of another larger wave 4, then when that top comes in over here, we'll have this bottom in over here for that. That's what I was thinking. So yeah, just sort of pulling them all together. Now we can have wave 4 here, and that means that this would be down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming down here. It's also possible to have wave 4, another wave 4 sitting here, and having this as wave 1 here with an A and a B and a C. So this low here is quite critical at this point in time. We probably will come down into this, but it's also possible to have this as 1 and 2 here. So we'll just go into the 2000 tick chart and just have a bit of a look at this here now. So this is the top here as a wave 3, as I was talking about, and a wave 4 here. At the same time, this can be counted correctively here. This can be counted as impulsive. It hasn't taken the top out here. So we can look at this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here for wave 2. I doubt if it's the case, but it's possible. So I was just sort of talking about it and leaving it there. But otherwise, we can look at this here as down for 5 waves here, coming back 50-60% and then going down again, and we can look at that on the 100 ticks, that little move coming down here, there. So let me just clean these up here. Don't need these, don't need that. That's okay. I'll keep, actually I don't need any of these here. I've got them all over there. That's just don't need these. Try to keep things as clean as possible. So this is the trend that's coming down at the moment. So we've been talking about this pretty much in line with gold, actually. So 1 here, an A and a B, and 5 waves for the C wave here, and then down for 1, and we've got a reoccurring pattern here as we've got here, almost a reoccurring pattern here as well, but 3, ABC for 4, 5, 4 and 5 here. So an A wave, a B wave and a C wave. Now it's possible for it to continue to build on top of that. So the short trade here would be under the B wave. So when this tops out up here, somewhere up here, then it'll pull back, let it pull back, and then it'll push up again, but it'll expose that low there. So if you want to short this, well then you can, or you go long on the pound and the euro and the Aussie and everything else at that, and even indices at that point too. So yeah, so we can look at this as wave 1 and 2, or wave C here for that. So that is the US dollar. So we're just finding our way around that in a couple of different ways. So what's next? Gold is next. So GDX here, I haven't looked at this for a little while. So bit of a pathway here. So from the wave B up here, we're looking down to wave C here, and we're looking down in 5 waves of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then down for 5 here. So between 4 and 5, we're looking down as 1 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 2, and then down for 1, A, B, C for 2 here, then 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd, 4th and 5th. Is it possible to put wave 5 over here? I've had a bit of a look at that, and looking at this here as from wave 4 here as 1, 2, 3, 4 here, a bit of an overlap, and then a little 1 and 2 in here, and a third, a big wave 4, and then down for wave 5. So possible. And then looking at this, but kind of looks like 5 waves here as well. And it does look like on silver we need to come down further, so that will put gold down a bit further. But anyway, we'll see if we get a nice impulse wave here. I don't mind being wrong. If we get 5 waves coming up here, then we'll go long above those 5 waves. That way we can prove that we've got some type of low in at that point, okay? So otherwise, in the meantime, we just watch it. Kind of, you know, it's had its fast move, and it's slowing down, and it's slowing down again. So we'll just see. You know, this 25 here is a very, you know, it's a bit of a line in the sand, as you can see. It's tested it a few times. It wants to go up, but we'll just see if it how it plays out with all of this here. So why will it come down? So let's just check on that a bit. Well, with gold here, once again we're looking for wave 3, 4, and coming down for wave 5. So I'm looking for a wave 3 to come down here on 2, 3. We haven't, you know, as this wave 3 here, then the 4 here, and then it does appear we've got 5 waves here. So, but we haven't taken out that low here, you know. So we could have it as a truncated 5th wave. I'm not saying that we can't, and we could put that there. But if that was the case, and we were going to rely on that being a truncated 5th wave, we were looking for the A wave here this morning, so we'll look for the B wave now. I don't know if that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably it there. So we'll look for the B wave to come back, a bit like the US dollar, as I mentioned, and then wave C up here. So look, anything above this up here, above this, wherever that is, anything above the 5 waves here, we can go long. So maybe we get a classic trading levels pattern on the $17, and we'll have to go 1700. So we'll have to go long from that point. But otherwise, down for 1, A, B, C for 2, and then down for 3, 4, 5, and down yonder down here. So it's not impossible that can't be wave 5 there, but I just don't think it is. And to also back that up as well, we can see that with silver here, for example, we can see with silver, if we line all the ducks up here, we've got wave 3 here, and we haven't made a new low at all here, you know. So having this as the wave 1 here, and the 2 up here, that probably need to come up further. I mean, it makes a nice ABC as it is, and it could probably put that there. But the other thing here too is that with wave 4s, they can get a bit complicated. So we could bring wave 4 over here if it moved up here further. But the fact that it hasn't made a new low, and also the second fact, or the second box here, is that we don't have 5 waves up here. Do you know what I mean? So in this move, we don't have, this is not 5 waves. So this is all corrective. We don't have support on 20. So everything's telling me here that we're going down further for this. So we still need wave 3 down here, wave 4, and then wave 5. And even once we get down here, you know, we still need to do work to confirm that we've got a low in place. So there will be work to be done on this side. We can't just buy at the low. Well, of course, you can do anything you want, of course, but we need to get a nice little 5 waves up here at least. We need something to work with in terms of our risk reward, but also too, we've got to get probability on side. We've got to get our edge on side, you know. So having an impulse wave like this sort of thing, I mean, this is actually corrective because it's a little A and a B in here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if we can get the first 5 waves off the low there and buy the pullback, then we're on the right track, you know. But yeah, otherwise we'll see silver down, you know, at 15, 14, somewhere down there, you know. Alrighty, so that's that. Actually, I didn't bring up, didn't look at crude. I have to do that, but I'll do that shortly after the other metals. So with copper here, I've also been looking at this as wave 3 here, and it does appear that we're in some sort of triangle sort of pattern, but I didn't get 3 waves off the first leg here, so I can't really confirm the triangle. I can't really, you know, I would like to look at this as wave 1 up here, if I can move that again, as wave 1 up here, and then bring back this for wave 2 where the B wave is, because we've got a nice ABC pattern here, but I'm not getting 5 waves in this move here. I could force it. I could go 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave, but it's a bloody mess, you know. So I can't really just do that, you know, without sort of, yeah. So so we've got 3 waves here as it stands, but then I've also got 3 waves here. I'm taking, well, it's 3 waves now because we're taking that top out here. So I'm thinking that we'll just chill a little bit. We'll probably get the C wave up here, and then we'll get the D wave over here maybe, and then the E wave over here, and then we'll come down. So probably, you know, it won't be too far behind gold and that, because gold's in the same sort of boat, and then we'll have that move down to finish off. I mean, yeah. Maybe I can count that in 3 waves, but yeah, I can't turn bullish yet anyway. That's the main thing with all of this here. Starting to go into sets of 3. It may not be a triangle, but anyway, we'll just keep tracking it. If this was a nice clean 5 waves, I'd look to go long here, but can't do that at this point, so we'll just leave it. And lithium. So with the lithium here, we've got from, it's just a line chart, from down the bottom here we've got 1 and 2, and then we've got a nice 5-way structure to the upside there. All that's good. And we've just been looking a bit like uranium really, and other markets. We're kind of just looking for the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave. It is possible to put the B wave here and the C wave here, and put wave 4 here, and look at this as wave 1 here, and back for wave 2 here. It's come back quite deeply for wave 2, so I'm a bit reluctant to do that. I would only call that in if I got a nice impulse wave off here, but I was expecting a bounce off the 65, and also looking for it to come back to that previous high here, which would bring us in at 70. So if I got a classic trading levels pattern at 70, then I'd call the low in here. But this lithium ETF here is not, I mean, we've been looking at a lot of lithium stocks in the Australian video, you know, I think 3 or 4 US stocks, and a good handful of Australian stocks as well. So they're all slightly different, and the rest, you know, they're all sort of slightly here and there. But I think that the general consensus is that we still have another couple of weeks before a lot of those stocks are sort of ready to go. I mean, some of them are just, they're all a little bit different, and they need to be treated individually, of course, but there is a theme that runs through them all. So I think that with this being a wave C over here and the wave B over here for this as a B, I mean, it does count nicely as 1, 2, 3 here, and then an A, B, C, D, E here for this, and then up here. But you could quite easily go an A and a B and a C as well. I mean, you know, there's a few ways you can look at all of this. So it really just comes down to here, and it doesn't matter, you know, I can been looking at it one day, but even if I go to 1 tick here, which is a long, you know, it's a long way away, the question is, how do you count this down here? I mean, I can look at it, as I mentioned before, we could go wave 1 here, but I struggle with that a little bit. I can see that we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to here, so we could look at all of that as the 3rd wave and a 4th wave and a 5th wave. Very small wave 4 in here though, so that's a problem. I don't know if I should treat all that as wave 1, or down for 1 here, back for 2, down for 1 here, and A, B, C for 2, and then down for 3. But then I've got no 4th wave here, or do I put 4? This one here is a little bit, I'm on 1 tick here, so I can't get any more detail than this. So it is a bit of an issue. I mean, it does look like wave 1 to here, and then wave 3 to here, and then wave, you know, 4 and 5. So we could have a low in here. It's not like I've got an impulse wave here so far, but it does look like I've got 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and building to the upside. But it could be the A wave, the B wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's what I'm sort of thinking as the wave 4, and then coming down lower at that point. We can go long at that point here. Anything sort of above that, we can turn bullish at that point. But because I can't get a really clean grip on the rest of this, I don't know. As I mentioned to folks, you can go in and buy, you know, above this high or this high. I can't remember what I said before, but it was something like that. But it might not get you very far, you know. So anyway, we'll just get to this point, and yeah. So that's that. And uranium. Now uranium, I can see that from the low here, we can count it up as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an A and a B and a C, with 5 waves coming down here for the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave. So this is a little bit different than lithium, but in a way they've got the same patterns here. So we can have wave 2 low in here for this a little bit better. So if you're looking at lithium, uranium stocks, then yeah, that's a good possibility. I mean, if you're looking to trade one of them, maybe flick it over to me and I'll have a bit of a look at it. And we'll see how it goes. But there's no 5 waves up here just yet. We could look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 here, and some sort of A, B, C here for the 4th and up for the 5th. So we'll keep a bit of an eye on it. You know, if this pushes up here, somewhere up here, it has already taken the tops out here, and then has some sort of ABC pattern here, well then we could look to go long on this side over here for this. Only a small position, and we can build in on top of this one over here as well, you know. So we can just put that as a small position or part position at half there. So we have to build a case, you know. But there's a nice 5 wave. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2, and then down for 3, 4, 5 here. That's all good. And then nice ABC here, and then another nice 5 waves here, all within reason. So everything is pretty good at this point with this, I think. So lithium's got the same sort of pattern. So we could be in the same position with lithium. We'll see. And what's next? Nickel. So with nickel, I've been looking at it as wave 3 here, the same as gold and so on. But nickel's obviously, you know, a green metal now as well. You know, it's in there with lithium and the other green metals for batteries. And so look, it could push up. I just always felt a bit sort of, you know, unsure about it, because this move here was too big for a wave 2. Nice sharp move here, so that's good. But yeah, as an ABC here for wave 4, possibly. We could also look at this as an ABC here for the A wave here, then an ABC for the B wave, and up for the C wave here. And then down. So it does, as I've been over the last few sessions, I've been talking about this, and it's to push up there, and it did push up and it dropped back, and it's starting to push up again. So if you're looking at nickel stocks, you could get a very small position above here on that. I don't know how far it's going to get you or anything, but if you look back in hindsight, that's the point that you would want to get in at, you know. So yeah, look, it could be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 to this point. I did have a wave 2 there, but it's just a bit of a long shot, you know. But it definitely wants to push up from here as a little wave 1 here, a little A, B, and C here for wave 2. So anyway, there you go for that. Okay, so for crude oil, as you may know if you've been following this, we've been looking at having a wave 4 low in here. It's possible. We can count this up in 5 waves. You can count it up in 2 different ways. So I've just left it there, and the idea was to go long above this top here. We can go long above, we've got this structure here as the A wave, the B wave. Let's bring this into the fold a little bit. The B wave here, we can go long above the B wave. That's kind of what we look for. we can look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 ABC for 4 here, and then down for 5 for wave 2. So it does make a reasonable ABC for wave 2 here. We've always got to be a little bit careful because, you know, when you get some, this is quite a big wave 2 here. It's okay, but we just got to be careful we don't, because we can't confirm that we're going up just yet. It's not like we're already in a trend, so we've got to kind of work out that we don't get trapped in some sort of, you know, triangle-y thing or something, you know, in here, and then we just roll over down here, you know. So that's why we just need to be a little bit careful about things. So last time we spoke, we talked about this low being in place, and then we counted 5 waves up here for wave 1. And then we're also, last time we spoke, we were looking for an ABC to come back. So we could probably, in there somewhere, I might just put that there, just check on this, probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here. But anyway, I'll check on that a bit later. So the question now is that, do we look at this as an impulse wave here? Do we look at that as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? It looks like it's got overlapping wave structures. This looks a little bit bearish to me as well. Is this the B wave over here, or is this the B wave and we still need to go down for a C wave here yet? That's another way to look at this situation. It makes it a little bit big, but that's part of it. So a bit reluctant to go here just yet. I think it's okay to drop this down into this space here now. Let's just double check on a few things here. It's a little bit risky, but see, we're at the the thing here is that this is the 61.8%. We came up, we hit it, we went back, and then we hit this, and then we hit it again here, and then we've come back down. So what it does, it's telling us it's been rejected. So that means if it does get accepted, that means that we want to be going long from that point. So let's just put that there. It's a very high risk trade at this point, and we'll see how that plays out at this point. You know, that looks impulsive, so it could be 1 and 2 here, and then it'll, don't jump the gun, as 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So we could end up coming down here before going back up again, you know. But we're getting there. We've come, you know, we've come from here to here to here, and now we're at this point here. As long as this stays as an ABC and doesn't get any, you know, doesn't come too far down here. If it comes too far down here, we're going to have to destroy that, the idea of this wave 2 here, you know. But as it stands, it's all okay. So we'll just continue with this a little bit. Just not the best wave 1 or the best wave 2 I've seen. They're just not sort of, it just looks like some sort of other corrective pattern. But anyway, we'll stay with it. There's nothing, hasn't really broken any rules just yet. Okay, and gas. So just on the daily chart for natural gas, and when we spoke last time, we'd seen this coming down through here. It still needs to come down. So from wave 4 here, we've got 1 and 2. We're still in the third wave here. So we still need to see, look, the wave 4 might come off the low here somewhere, off the 5,000, you know. If you're looking for a bounce, it will come off the 5,300, the top of group 1 at that point. As I mentioned before, the distance it takes out the top here will sort of, as a rule of thumb, take out the low here at this point. So the thing here is we do have a nice clean 5-wave structure to the upside here, and then looking at this as the A wave and then the ABC for the B wave and 5 waves down here. There is a couple of issues with all of this, so we really have to confirm the low, because we could put wave 1 and 2 here. I don't think it's the case. And the reason I don't think it's the case for is as 1, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. The reason I don't think it's the case is because just the look and the feel of it. And then this whole thing here is the third wave is quite nice, isn't it? That would leave the length of wave 1 and the length of wave 5 sort of roughly the same. There's going to be good support coming down into 5 here. and taking out this low here. So even once we do get down, we need to really confirm an impulse wave to the upside at that point, because you know, as I mentioned, it's just not clear in here. You could label it in different ways, so we'll just be a bit mindful of that. But yeah, that's where it is. We don't have our fourth wave yet, so probably come off the current low, but we certainly don't see any wave 4 here yet. Might come off this one here, or the fourth, the 5,300. Yeah, it's all around that 300, the top of group 1 there. I'll just leave that there. Yeah, so nothing really to no, certainly no buying activity here. It's amazing how much it's come off, isn't it, compared to the sort of, you know, the US and the NATO and the Nord Stream 2 that's been taken out and so on. So yeah, it's obviously behind the scenes, the gas problem is slightly solved to a point, isn't it? We'll see how this plays out here. Alrighty, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.